San Joaquin Valley on a rare, frigid night in Fresno, California. It's the inaugural Mountain West Championship game. Utah State, in its first year in the conference, gunning for its sixth straight victory against a Fresno State team hungry to get back in the win column. And here come the Aggies. Led by first-year head coach Matt Wells, they ended the season on a 5-game win streak. Home fans getting ready to rock. Here comes Fresno State. The captains decided to wear black-on-black uniforms for the championship game. A 10-1 record, looking to win an outright conference title. Utah State won the coin toss and they deferred. They're going to give Fresno State the ball to start the game. 41 degrees right now. It's going to drop though. And the all-time record low for this date is 25 in Fresno. We'll keep an eye on that. Damari Scott, averaging 19 yards a return, is back deep for the Bulldogs. And we are underway at Bulldog Stadium. Scott from the 4. And it's brought down at the 25-yard line. That'll bring the Fresno State offense out onto the field, led by their general, Derek Carr. The senior has thrown 45 touchdown passes and just 5 interceptions on the season. Now, there's been a pattern for the Bulldogs throughout the course of the year. They like, when they're at home on their first play, to use a gadget play, use a trick play, try to get the fans going. We'll see if they do it here. 5 wide receivers for Carr to start. Carr to the shotgun, and he is sacked. No trick play that time. Brought down by B.J. Larson. 3.5 sacks now on the season for Mr. Larson. A 4-yard loss.
Well, Andrew, when we take a look at the lineups for Fresno State, Devontae Adams, over 1,400 yards and 22 touchdowns, lead the FBS. With the injuries they have at the wide receivers, he's got to play well tonight.
Isaiah Burse has some room down the near side, and he's knocked out of bounds at the 36-yard line. Let's take a look at that #1 defense.
Yeah, these guys run to the football well, but keep your eye tonight on Nevin Lawson, the cornerback. He's one of the better cornerbacks in the Mountain West Conference. Earlier in the year, he played pretty well against Marquise Lee. Let's see how well he plays tonight against one of the nation's other finer wide receivers, because he's going to be locked up one-on-one with our boy Adams.
Carr lofts one for Adams, makes the catch, and then lost the football. Penalty flag down, ball still loose, scooped up by Maurice Alexander. Right now, the ruling on the field is a fumble in Utah State football. We have to wait and see what the penalty is.
There is no foul on the play. The ruling on the field is a catch and subsequent fumble recovered by the defense. The field judge reached for his beanbag, inadvertently threw the flag, first down.
Aggies football after Alexander scooped it up. Here's another look.
We talked about them needing to challenge. Great release that time by Adams. Nevin Lawson, to his credit, fighting for that football. We talked about the physical nature of this Utah State Aggie defense.
So the sophomore Adams loses the football, having an incredible season. 22 touchdowns, leads the country. But Bulldog Stadium has gone quiet as Utah State forces the early turnover. Now their offense takes out on the field.
It seemed like that ball was moving a little bit, Andrew. I don't know. They made that decision pretty quickly. That could prove to be a very big decision in this ball game.
Here's the true freshman, Darrell Garretson, throwing deep on first down to Natson. Makes the catch and tackled at the 42-yard line into Fresno State territory. A 38-yard hookup.
This is exactly what Utah State needs to be able to do, is to take shots downfield and get big plays. This isn't necessarily a typically prototypical explosive offense, so for them to take some vertical shots, that will open up the running lanes, which is what they like to do.
Travis Reynolds is not playing tonight. He is Utah State's top receiver. Injured his knee 2 weeks ago. and is not able to go as they go to Joey DiMartino on first down. So you're going to see a lot of Bruce Natson in this game, both as a wide receiver and as a wildcat quarterback that they like to use Natson out of. Now here's the true freshman Darrell Garretson, just 19 years old, out of Chandler, Arizona, went to Chandler High School. He was supposed to redshirt this season, but after Chucky Keaton went down in early October, the coaches pulled the red shirt, and Garrettson's been 5-0 as the starter. DiMartino is tricked up. Adro Ederaine making the tackles. We look at the Aggies on offense.
Yeah, offensive center Tyler Larson's first team all-conference the last 2 years in the WAC, and he and his line mates are going to have to be key against a front that's pretty active, trying to blitz the passer. And make no mistake about it, as a true freshman quarterback of Darrell Garretson, they're going to try and get him off as a spot and affect him throwing the football. 3rd and 6, Utah State first in the conference at 47% on third downs. Garretson scrambles across the 40, and he's brought down short of the first down by Kyrie Wilson. Great protection that time by that Utah State Aggie offensive line. We talked about that. Garretson had plenty of time to throw. He's staring his receiver down. He comes off when his first read's not there and just uses his legs to be able to try and make a play. But you got to give credit to Kyrie Wilson, the second leading tackler on this team. He hawked him down. But here Utah State being aggressive, going for it on 4th down. I like it.
4th down and 3, 43% on the season on 4th downs. Garretson under center. Van Leeuwen, the motion man. Garretson rolls right, throws, and it is in. No, it's caught, but short of the first down. Pass is complete, but Charles Washington was right there to make the play for the Bulldogs on defense. And Tim DeRuyter and Nick Toth fired up. What a start to this one, a turnover, and then Fresno State holds on defense. Van Leeuwen made the grab, but Charles Washington, playing cornerback for the first time this season, makes the tackle with 11:43 to go. 11:43 to go, opening quarter. Inaugural Mountain West Championship game. They toss it on the swing to Adams, and he gets 9 on the play. So Devontae Adams trying to get his hands back on the football, get him some confidence, as the Bulldogs have it 2nd down and 1. Jake Dowdy made the stop. This is Josh Quezada, and he falls forward for a Fresno State first down. I do have to point out that Josh Harper, the second leading receiver on this Fresno State team, is not playing tonight. He hurt his groin last week on a touchdown catch against San Jose State. So they are down one of their top targets in this loaded offense. Quezada again close to midfield and pushed back.
Stopping the run is going to be imperative tonight for Utah State. They're going to have to try and tip the hand of this offense for the Bulldogs. But what I just saw at the top of the screen, Andrew, on that last play, some miscommunication on the bubble screen. I would expect Fresno State's coaches saw that, and they'll try and hit them with a bubble here at some point on this drive.
Carr has time, looking deep, and the pass is caught by the tight end, Marcel Jensen. Senior out of Fairfield, California, with an 18-yard gain.
Not bad by the former offensive lineman, then a defensive lineman, then an offensive lineman, then finally a tight end just running a perfect corner route, and Derek Carr's ball hit the money.
Bulldogs like to go fast, 85 plays per game. That's 3rd in the country. Quezada cuts it back inside, across the 15, and down to the 12-yard line. Josh Quezada, the transfer from BYU, picks up 7 on that play. He was actually recruited by offensive coordinator Dave Schramm when Schramm was at Utah. Ended up going to BYU. Let's take a look at the Verizon red zone. Fresno State has scored a touchdown on 75% of its red zone possessions. That's 8th in the country.
So Derek Carr directing traffic, alerting his receivers to potential coverage.
Carr, corner of the end zone, and it is incomplete. Was trying to hook up with Isaiah Burse.
Yeah, there was a little miscommunication on that between them and the location of the football. Where the quarterback's trying to throw the football is in a 1-yard square in the back of the end zone, and it was just a little bit further than the outstretched hands of Isaiah Burse could bring in.
3rd down and 3 for the Bulldogs. Early on, Carr has had plenty of time to throw, Aaron.
Yeah, after that first sack, I think that they need to dial up some blitzes. That's where they've had some success.
Here comes some pressure, and Carr just gets rid of it. Paul Pucala was one of the Aggies leading the charge.
This is just basically a 3-step drop, although it is from the shotgun where he's trying to get rid of that ball. The offensive line cut, but because of good coverage, Derek Carr had to hold that football and had to get rid of it. Credit the blitz and Utah State's defensive line getting after him to force this field goal on 4th down.
Fackrell and Zach Vigil also applying pressure as Colin McGuire comes out for a 30-yard attempt. He's 10 for 15 on the season. He's missed 2 of his last 3, but McGuire, the true freshman, knocks this one through. It's the inaugural Mountain West Championship. McGuire will kick it away. Glover right, and Jeremy Morris back deep. This is usually where Travis Reynolds will be, but he's not playing tonight, as we told you earlier. It'll be Glover right from the 10. And Glover right still pushing his legs forward, finally brought down at the 28-yard line. And let's be honest, neither one of us thought that Utah State would be in this game after Chucky Keaton went down. What a job they have done under first-year head coach Matt Wells. Garretson throws on 1st down, and a great catch there by Brandon Swindle. Garretson 5-0 as the starter, and just a true freshman. He's done a phenomenal job ever since Chucky Keaton went down.
That the receiver juggled the ball inbounds and caught it out of bounds, incomplete.
And they've overturned that call of a catch by Swindle.
And it's pretty cold here tonight, Andrew, and that oftentimes can affect receivers catching the football. Their hands aren't as soft and supple as they usually are, and very early in this ball game on both sides of the ball, we've seen receivers having trouble bringing in those tough catches.
Good call there. 8:23 to go, 1st quarter. 2nd down and 10 for the Aggies. 8-4 record, 7-1 in the Mountain West. Garretson in trouble. Garretson goes down. Deron Smith, the last one to get him.
This is a defense that was very passive last week against San Jose State. And talking to defensive coordinator Nick Toth, he said, hey, I wasn't as aggressive as I needed to be. We're not going to make that same mistake tonight. Number 13 right there, Deron Smith, took very personal that loss and didn't feel like he played well. That's going to give this unit the confidence they need, bringing up here on a big 3rd down.
His 4th sack of the season. 3rd and 16. Garretson bobbles the snap and does the smart thing, just falls on it. On a brutal series for the Aggies. They go 3 and out after a 10-yard loss.
Well, this is the last thing that they needed to do. This is just miscues. Darrell Garretson, with his eyes downfield, takes his eyes off the football. And just simple center quarterback exchange forces a punt. What this is going to do, Andrew, is likely give Fresno State tremendous field position after this punt.
Jaron Bentrude from his own end zone. Isaiah Burse is back deep for the Bulldogs. And Burse fields it at the 40. Running left, gets away from one. Gets away from a couple, and Burse finally goes down at the 43-yard line after a 48-yard punt.
Yeah, you want to corral Isaiah Burse, buddy. I mean, he's somebody that can take it to the house. Had 2 punt returns for a touchdown against Cal Poly.
Tough series for the Aggies. Garretson couldn't handle the shotgun snap. A 10-yard loss. Fresno State ball when we come back to Bulldog Stadium. Carr is back in there. 1st down and 10. This is Martez Waller to the 45-yard line. Saw Missouri and UCLA kicking off our college hoop season earlier today. What a day on CBS. You had the hoops game to start, then the SEC championship game, and now late night Mountain West football. Final 15 seconds of the quarter. This time last week, Fresno State was down 50 to 49. Not exactly, but close after that shootout against San Jose State as Quezada with a powerful first down run. And that will likely be the final play of the first quarter.
This is the end
Fresno
of the first
State
quarter.
averaging 47 points per game, held to a field goal in the opening quarter. That's the end of one with the score Fresno State 3, Utah State nothing. Both defenses have played very well. Utah State with only 40 yards in the opening quarter, and Fresno State with 102, which for them actually isn't that much.
Yeah, no question. And both of these defenses, as we talked about at the top of the show, trying to affect each one's quarterback. The difference is Fresno State has Derek Carr and Utah State has Darrell Garretson, a true freshman.
They stacked 3 receivers on the near side of the field. They completed to Burse, and he's tackled by Brian Sweet. For more on Derek Carr, let's check in with Allie LaForce.
Guys, luckily for the Bulldogs, Carr just has some soreness where he was hit in his right shoulder, nothing too serious. I'm sure if you reach this point in the season, there are a lot of muscles on your body that are sore. So the shoulder, just another one of those, nothing that he can't play through.
All right, Allie, thank you. How about this formation? Burse makes another catch, finds some room across the 20. Burse spinning his way to the 11-yard line. First down, Fresno State, a 20-yard pickup.
We talked about those bubble screens. This is diamond quad bunch set. It forces a defense to be able to play zone, but when you only have 3 over 4 offensive players, you're going to be able to get some running room. Very good job blocking on the perimeter, and here they go again running the same thing.
4 on the near side of the field this time. Carr fakes the run, throws end zone, incomplete. Was trying to connect with Devontae Adams, but once again, number 1, Nevin Lawson right there.
Nevin Lawson is D'ing up Devontae Adams. He's got some swag to him. Tied for 6th in the NCAA with pass breakups and 4th for passes defended. He's just saying, hey, if you're going to beat me, you're going to have to be physical to do it. Nevin Lawson's only 5'10", and Devontae Adams is 6'2", 216 pounds. That's a pretty big receiver he's throwing around.
Second down and 10. Waller, right side, inside the 5-yard line. Brian Sweet and Tank Lover right making the stop. That brings up 3rd down and short. Carr gets them to the line quickly.
In the run game, Fresno State's offensive line is controlling this line of scrimmage early. They've struggled protecting the passer, but they're getting some money running the football.
3rd and 2. Carr, end zone, touchdown, Marcel Jensen. The 46th touchdown of the season for Derek Carr is now tied for the single-season record at Fresno State with his brother, David Carr.
Just a busted coverage. They ran a fake bubble screen. Quentin Bird, backup cornerback over there. Jake Dowdy, everybody looking around wondering who was supposed to take Jensen. Great play call and execution by Fresno State to break down in the back end for the Aggies.
Is good, and the Bulldogs inside the 15-yard line, and then Carr to the tight end Jensen. 7 on the board for the Bulldogs. They're up by 10. For the most touchdowns in a single season with 46 now for Derek Carr. And keep in mind, they had one game canceled earlier this year at Colorado because of the floods in Boulder. Glover right on the return. Gets to the 25, and now a huge drive for Utah State. They have to get something going offensively, and Garretson starts it on the ground.
I like it. Get Garretson involved. Let him get pounded and hit a little bit. Football players are used to getting hit, but when you're running the football, you're a little bit more aggressive. It's proactive. When you're back there passing, you feel vulnerable. When you got a young quarterback, get him involved. When you're running the football, you don't have time to think. I love that last play call, and it got him 4 yards.
Out of the shotgun with DiMartino next to him. Just 4 rushing yards for Utah State so far. DiMartino trying to change that. Can't. Great pursuit from the backside. And that's Andy Jennings who makes the stop.
Both of these teams like to run counter plays. And you see Jennings just at the left of your screen. stunting, scraping across the faces of the offensive linemen. Very hard for the O-line to pick up, but you have to be able to pin and control the backside when you're pulling guys. That time the Aggies don't, and they get dropped for a loss.
Aggies have not converted a third down yet tonight. They're 0 for 4. Third down and 4 here. Empty backfield. Garretson steps up, throws, and it's broken up. Broken up on the play by Carl Nicholson. And once again, it's 3 and out for Utah State.
Utah State's got to be careful. That's too many 3 and outs for this offense. We talked about the need for them to be able to generate something. He steps up, and that was a very late thrown ball over the middle, telegraphing where he wanted to go. He should have just ran it and tried to pick it up with his feet. That almost was even more costly of a mistake.
Ventrude, high spiraling kick. Burst calls for a fair catch at the 34-yard line. Utah State still has not converted a third down tonight. They give the ball back to the Bulldogs. The Home Depot College Football on CBS will continue after this word. Fresno State allowed 62 points last week to San Jose State, but so far tonight they are pitching a shutout as Derek Carr is set to come back out onto the field, and we go down to the field and check in with Allie LaForce.
Guys, Carr went to the trainer's table and they took his jersey off and they applied a square white patch on his left shoulder. I don't know exactly what the patch was. It looked like a heat patch. They taped it down, threw his jersey back on, and he ran back up to the sidelines. That's the latest.
All right, Allie, thank you very much. And after talking with Derek Carr yesterday, I find it hard to believe he would come out of a championship game. He's a tough guy who loves the game of football, as Paul Pucala makes the tackle for the Aggies, and their defense has played very well early on as well.
Yeah, no question. And Paul Pucala is one of the backup defensive linemen for this team that you kind of notice when you watch on film. Great hands, great extension. That time he stayed in his rush lane, got himself upfield, and dropped the back for a 1-yard loss.
And once again, the Aggies defense is right there. Jake Dowdy leading the charge for Utah State.
This is exactly what Utah State needs to be able to do, is win on 1st and 2nd down to force Fresno State to be behind the chains so that they can pin their ears back and apply pressure. They've done a really good job of getting after the quarterback this year. 29 sacks so far, and so far in this game they've been doing it. Derek Carr's got to get rid of this ball quickly.
He does here on 3rd and 14, and some room for Davante Adams close to midfield, and a first down before Quentin Byrd finally catches up to him after a pickup of 17.
Andrew, one of the things that Davante Adams does such a good job of, it's just a bubble screen. He comes back, tunnel inside, lots of missed tackles, but yards after the catch is something that 15 does extremely well.
First down by a hair for Fresno State. 9.5 to go in the first. Carr on the sideline. Adams couldn't bring this one in.
We talked about the physicality in this. Keep your eye on Davante Adams and watch his push off. These guys are getting after it right there. Nevin Lawson just a little bit, and that's what you have to do as a wide receiver. You got to be subtle and sly with your game. And that was almost a heck of a catch, but credit Lawson for planting his dry foot and coming back on it.
When Utah State played USC earlier this year, Lawson was matched up with Marquise Lee, held him to 6 catches. Isaiah Burst, Tay Glover right, doesn't let him get by.
Heck of a tackle there by Tay Glover right, number 4. Man, what a resilient player he was. Remember, we did the game earlier in the year. He was getting torched. His confidence was down, but he's really come back and rebounded in the second half of the year. That's an excellent open field tackle.
Defensive coordinator Todd Orlando told us that Glover Wright finally realized he didn't have many games left. He was a senior, and since he had that realization, he's played lights out. Third down for Fresno State. Carr deep for Jensen, and he's got it. First down, Bulldogs. A 21-yard gain.
Well, this is a mismatch. Strong safety Brian Sweets in pretty good coverage, but look at the extension by Jensen in the beautiful ball location by Derek Carr. That is a beautiful pitching catch. And Jensen on those corner routes having a night.
Carr underneath to Quezada, and Utah State not fooled. Zach Vigil makes the stop for the Aggies, a 1-yard loss.
Zach Vigil, such a fundamentally sound football player with instincts at the right place at the right time. Utah State playing a lot of nickel here tonight, leaving Zach Vigil and Jake Dowdy in the game. They're expecting these guys to show up in the run and defend the pass like they did on that last one.
Those are the two linebackers we highlighted at the top of the broadcast. 2nd down and 11. Carr, a slant is incomplete. He was trying to connect with Isaiah Burse, and Glover Wright again on the coverage for Utah State.
Early on in this game, they were going right after Nevin Lawson. These last couple plays, they're going after Tay Glover Wright, but both of these secondary cornerback players for Utah State are doing a pretty good job of being aggressive. Hey, when you're trying to win a championship, you got to lay it all on the table, and so far in this game defensively, Utah State's trying to do that.
The Bulldogs are 3 for 3 on this drive on 3rd downs. 3rd down and 11.
Empty backfield, watch the quick game.
Carr has some time right at the sticks. Burse makes the catch.
I think he's short, Andrew.
And he's going to be short by a yard.
This is 4-down territory. You see Fresno State running to get to the line of scrimmage. Going to slow things down here. This is an important play. If you're Utah State, you have to be able to maintain your water. Keep your eye on the football. If you're that defensive line, don't give them a cheap one here.
They're 1 for 1 tonight on 4th downs. They're going to go for it here on 4th and 1. Quezada has the 1st down. Josh Quezada has been on quite a roll over the last 4 games, averaging over 7 yards per carry.
Well, they brought that speed motion to attract the eye attention of those linebackers, and it works. They run them right inside in between those tackles and pick up the 1st down. And here in the red zones where they like to run some quarterback draws and some screens at times from this formation.
1st and goal.
Going to Wildcat, back to normal formation.
Swinging to Burse, gets by one, gets by another, at the pylon, and he's in. Touchdown, Isaiah Burse.
Well, Andrew, a lot of eye candy and some distractions trying to keep the defense on its heels, but it's fundamentals and a missed tackle by Brian Sweet right there that allowed that touchdown to happen. Brian Sweet recognized it, he ran to it, but at the end he just didn't get it done.
And that's a new school record for touchdown passes in a season at Fresno State. The record used to belong to David Carr, now belongs to Derek Carr, his 47th touchdown pass of the season. The Bulldogs firing on all cylinders in this 2nd quarter. Derek Carr to Isaiah Burse, and Fresno State jumps out to a 17-0 lead.
Welcome back to the campus of Fresno State University, where the Bulldogs lead Utah State 17-0. All right, we know that Derek Carr has rewritten many of the record books here at Fresno State and the Mountain West Conference, but one thing you may not know is that he was recently chosen to be a member of the National Football Foundation Scholar Athlete Class of 2013. This qualifies him as one of just 16 finalists for the William V. Campbell Trophy, known in the inner circle of sports as the Academic Heisman. He's also this game's Red Lobster Scholar Athlete. Derek is a Recreation Administration and Leisure Service Management major with a 3.41 GPA. He'll graduate in December. Red Lobster's commitment to the investment of our future is shown today by donating $1,000 to the Fresno State General Scholarship Fund.
All right, Allie, thank you. He's the 5th academic All-American in school history, and that intelligence in the classroom really translates on the football field. NFL scouts absolutely love the IQ of Derek Carr. In fact, offensive coordinator Dave Schramm told us that when Carr diagrams a play in the dry erase board, he's so detailed that he actually draws in the hash marks as well. That's how specific he gets. Glover right on the return across the 20 and down to the 23-yard line. 3rd and 17. Garretson deep over the middle as a man, and it's caught by Butler. There's a flag down on the play, back at the line of scrimmage, but a huge catch by Ronald Butler. 48 yards on the play. Let's see what the flag is.
I think it's going to be holding.
There is no foul on the play for holding the puck. The question is legal. Result of the play, first down.
That was huge. This is exactly what it is they needed to be able to do. Just one-on-one coverage. He bobbles it a little bit, but Butler finds a way to be able to bring that ball in. And once again, a beautifully thrown ball by Darrell Garretson. The coaches talked about how unflappable he is.
First down and 10 from the 24. Garretson has time, end zone, and it is incomplete. Swindle, who leads the team with 5 touchdown catches on the season, nearly brought it in. Good coverage by Darrell Smith.
Yeah, Darrell Smith showing his aggressiveness. The junior out of Banning, California, playing that ball. He might have got there just a tad bit early with his left hand. But when you're Brandon Swindle and you're on the road to the Mountain West Conference Championship game, you got to make that catch.
Garretson throws an out route to the right, too high for Swindle, and that brings up third down.
Too high and too much mustard on that. Working the edges, the short, controlled, quick pass game is what you want to do in a 2-minute situation. The Aggies, with all 3 timeouts, can afford to run some draws or some plays to the middle of the screen. They're not limited to just working the perimeter here.
Utah State 2 for 7 tonight. It's third down and 10. Comes the pressure. Garretson gets rid of it, and it's incomplete. Was trying to go back to Butler, who made the big catch on this drive. And the 3rd straight incompletion for Garretson forces 4th down.
And that play had a chance, but once again, a dropped ball by an Aggie receiver proving to be costly. Jonathan Norton was over there to disrupt the pass, but you have to wonder if this cold weather is affecting these receivers' ability to catch.
42-yard field goal attempt from Nick Diaz. He's 14 out of 19 on the season. High snap, kick drifting left. No good. Diaz misses, and there's still a goose egg on the board for Matt Wells and the Aggies.
Look at that Fresno State sideline. They're fired up. You see Matt Wells having a conversation with his kicker. This looked bad from the get-go. Seemed to be low and pushing left right out of the gate. Look how excited Fresno State is. We talked about that mojo at the top of the show. This is a perfect example of it. They're feeling it tonight, and Utah State not doing themselves any favors at all in any phase tonight.
And now you give the ball back to Derek Carr with 2 timeouts and 46 seconds to go. Instead, it's 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs. Carr throws right, pass is caught by Peck. Trying to get out of bounds. It's a 1st down, so the clock will stop on the 1st down.
What you want to do in the 2-minute situation, Andrew, is get 1st downs, stop the clock, and work the perimeter. As we talked about before, you cannot take sacks in this situation.
Carr fires, caught by Burst, out of bounds at the 28-yard line. Derek Carr, such a quick release. That one came out in no time, and it goes for 19 yards.
Yeah, and Utah State earlier on was being aggressive and challenging these receivers, but now they're giving them space and not redirecting at the line of scrimmage. I think they need to be a little bit more aggressive, because if they give these receivers room, it could be problematic.
Carr right back to Peck. He makes a great catch. Tackled immediately by Quentin Bird. But the Bulldogs marching down the field, and Carr wants to use one of his 2 remaining timeouts right here. Aggies have to try and force a field goal here. 22 seconds to go. Carr, end zone to Burst. Broken up by Glover Wright.
Great body presence and position that time by Glover Wright, being inside and even with his receiver, turns back and is able to deflect that ball. Getting a little grabby with Isaiah Burst, but again, these defensive backs need to play physical with one of the best receiving corps in the country, particularly down here in the red zone.
Second down and 10 with 17 seconds to go. Watson goes in motion.
Man coverage. Derek Carr knows what it is.
Carr puts the ball on the ground. Scooped up by Utah State. Down the sideline. It's Jake Dowdy. Dowdy, and what a turnaround in this ball game.
Derek Carr can't believe it, but Matt Wells certainly can. Remember, this defense is the conference's best. In a championship situation, you need your ballers to ball, and the defense came up with what is the biggest play of this first half for this Aggie team.
Arguably a 14-point swing if the extra point is good. Fresno State was knocking on the door. Instead, Utah State gets on the board. Here's Diaz for the point after try. And we've got a whole new ball game in the Mountain West Championship.
Not only that, Andrew, remember, Utah State started out this ball game, so Fresno State has the option in the second half. If they scored there, they would have been double dipping. It's a good pitch, but another skill position player having trouble fielding the football in this cold weather. This time it was Martez Waller, and Dowdy doing what he does, taking the football to the house and showing some speed.
Utah State gets the ball to start the second half. Officially an 87-yard return for Jake Dowdy. Let's go down to Allie LaForce.
Coach, you start the first half giving up a sack and then fumbling the football. You end the first half with a fumble. What's your message to the guys about taking care of this ball?
Oh, we got to take care of the ball. I mean, other than that, you know, I thought we dominated the first half, but turnovers are the story. We should be up by more than 10. We got to take care of that.
Your defense has been dominant. What's working for you? What have you been able to expose?
Well, I think our defense has done a nice job of mixing things up and getting pressure on their quarterback. You know, we've given up a couple big plays, but we bowed our neck down in the red zone.
Good luck in the second half. Thanks, Coach. Yep.
Tim DeRuyter 16-1 when leading at the half in his career at Fresno State, but there's a different tone to this game after this huge play. Carr tried to pitch it to Waller. They couldn't connect. Jake Dowdy gets away from the tackle of Carr and goes 87 yards to turn around the complexion of this ball game. That's the end of the first half. It's 17-7. Let's go to Adam Zucker in our New York studio. Start of the third quarter at Bulldog Stadium in Fresno, California. The hometown Bulldogs have a 10-point lead. Let's go down to the sideline. Allie LaForce is with Matt Wells.
Coach Garretson sacked 4 times. How do you do a better job of protecting your freshman quarterback?
Well, we got to be a little bit more efficient on first down so we don't go and get in some of those third and long situations.
After that fumble recovery going into the half, I mean, it narrowed this game to a 10-point game. You guys are in this. What was your message at the half?
Yeah, I think we've got a little bit of energy and some excitement right now. We got to take this opening kick and go down and get points out of it.
Good luck in the second half. Thanks, Coach.
Here's a look at the first half stats, and you can see Utah State held in check offensively. Fresno State with the 324 yards of offense, but they're only up by 10. Back in the booth with Aaron Taylor, I'm Andrew Catalon. Utah State with that late defensive touchdown in the first half completely changed his ball game. And as Matt Wells just said, a critical drive to start this second half. Aaron, how do they get their offense going?
I think they need to put this game on their senior-laden offensive line. Run the football. You heard Matt Wells say it. They're not having the success on first and second down that they need to be able to stay in front of the chains. If you do that, Andrew, you get yourself into a rhythm and you continue to allow your quarterback to have some opportunities to throw the football down the field along the sidelines. We saw Garretson start to press there. He threw the interception. He could have thrown another interception. If they're going to win this game, they need to take some of this pressure off number 6 by running the football.
Just 8 yards rushing in the first half for Utah State, but they only trail by 10, and they'll get the ball to start here in the second half. right. Fields the second half kickoff from his 4-yard line, and he gets across the 25. Penalty flag flies in. Second down and 7. Garretson to Van Leeuwen, out route to the 45, gets away from one, and is brought out right at midfield. A first down for the Aggies. 12-yard gain for Van Leeuwen, the senior out of Provo, Utah, not Spain.
It seems like when they want to get Darrell Garretson going, they use short, controlled passing game, that quick game, maybe towards the edge and the perimeter, because he likes to throw those quick outs, and he's pretty good at it, as we saw in that last one.
Third catch for Van Leeuwen, first down and 10. DiMartino gets away from one and picks up a couple on the play. Patrick Sua making the tackle. He had a big game last week at San Jose State, a season high, 6 tackles.
I'm wondering why Utah State's not running any screens. With all the edge pressure that Fresno State is doing, if they can hit a screen into a blitz off the edge, they could hit their head on the goalpost.
Garretson to Swindle, and that's going to be a couple of yards shy of a first down. But this is the first time tonight, Aaron, that there's a little bit of rhythm with this Utah State offense.
And it seems like they're slowing it down a bit. Remember, Utah State's an offense that likes to hit the gas pedal and go quickly. Sometimes you need to stop and take a breath. Offense, as you mentioned, Andrew, is a lot of times about rhythm. And when you run an up-tempo pace, it can make that difficult sometimes.
Third down and 2, trying to keep the drive alive.
Here comes pressure.
DiMartino running right side, trying to push forward. And he's going to be a hair short. He didn't get it, but Matt Wells is keeping the offense on the field.
And there was penetration off that backside that flashed. And just great push, and once again, controlling the line of scrimmage. But if you're Utah State, this is the closest you may get to the end zone. You got to get this.
DiMartino dragged down, and he stopped short. The Fresno State defense holds again. The nose guard, Tyler Davison, makes a huge play.
That's Tyler Davison over one of the players that we highlighted, and Tyler Larson. Fresno State taking on Utah State Aggies, controlling the line of scrimmage, making up for that debacle they had last week against San Jose State. Can Derek Carr and this high-powered offense respond?
Derek Carr's interception once again does not come back to haunt his team as the defense comes up with a huge stop on 4th down and 1. Matt Wells not happy with his offensive line, and it's hard to blame him, Aaron. This is the heart and soul of their team, and they've been getting whooped tonight.
Yeah, particularly that left side. We saw Kevin Wimpy give up a sack that last play. Sini Talavea getting some penetration as an offensive lineman. You just simply can't let guys cross your face because it throws everything off. And that time, it was Fresno State that showed the Utah Aggies what it's like to take control of the line of scrimmage.
How many chances can you give Derek Carr now? 5:32 to go, still has the 10-point lead. Burst has some space, got a big block. Burst to midfield. This has been a hard-hitting battle tonight. Burst with 9 yards.
That's just Aaron Peck on Kyler Fackrell. Kyler Fackrell's got to get his head on a swivel. He had no idea that Peck was coming from outside in. You have to be able to sense that as a defender.
Derek Carr told us yesterday that Peck, with his size, reminds him of Terrell Owens with that freakish size that he has. And he saw a big block there from the 6'3", 211-pounder as that one goes incomplete.
Yeah, and that time he got a little bit of alligator arms himself because Jake Dowdy was hunting him up on that shallow cross. Seemed like he anticipated some contact there. After he gave some wood, he didn't want to receive some.
Can the Aggies defense come up with a stop on 3rd and 1? And the answer is no. First down, Bulldogs.
Fresno State's had a lot of success all night long on the Aggies, being able to run those type of plays. They tie up the defensive linemen, and by the time the linebackers get there, it's just too late. They've gotten the yardage that they need.
Martez Waller moves the sticks, 1st and 10. Waller again. It's across the 45. And the tackle's made at the 42-yard line.
Utah State has to make sure that it stays and gets its run fits. There were a lot of people bunched up, and that time Waller was able to hit backside using his vision. That's where the big plays happen, is when you have those cutbacks to the backside.
They stack receivers to either end. They give it to Peck in space, has some room down the sideline, and Aaron Peck has a first down.
Bubble screens are such an important part of this offense. Derek Carr gets rid of this football, throws it where Peck has a chance to be able to get it. Nick Vigil, Zach Vigil's brother, was in that time and took a poor angle, which is why the Bulldogs were able to get a first down.
Peck had 3 catches the entire season. He has 4 tonight, stepping up admirably for the injured Josh Harper. Waller inside, stuffed. Jake Dowdy pushing him back.
Okay, now if you're Utah State, that's exactly the way you needed this fresh set of downs to start. 2nd down. Now Fresno State is behind the chains. You need to win these next 2 downs and force a punt, or at the very least, a very deep field goal.
This 3rd quarter has flown by. 3:15 to go.
They like bubble screens, 2 over 2. Deep here at the bottom.
And that's dropped by Burst. Well, Tim DeRuyter and Matt Wells have known each other for a long time. They were coaches together at Navy from 1999 to 2001. DeRuyter was the defensive coordinator, and Wells held several different positions on the offensive staff: quarterback coach, wide receiver coach, fullback coach. So these two have a great friendship that dates back to the Navy days. Here's the 2000 team picture for the midshipmen. Matt Wells still looks about the same, doesn't he?
But old Tim DeRuyter looks like he's got a little bit more hair back then than he might have today.
Well, those two, they text and talk all the time during the season, but they agreed to shut it down this week. Not too much communication between the two. Carr to the air on 3rd down, incomplete. No flag on the play, and 4th down for the Bulldogs. What do you do here, Aaron Taylor?
Well, considering where you're at and the way that this ball game's been going, I think that Tim DeRuyter likes to be aggressive, but you got to be careful. You got to remember, this is the #1 rated Aggie defense in this conference. You got to be careful here. They're going for it. Here's a great opportunity for the Aggies to come up with a huge turnover.
Let's see if the #1 ranked offense can convert on 4th and 10. They're 2 for 3 tonight on 4th downs. Carr throws, caught by Burst. First down, Fresno State.
Andrew, you got to have a lot of confidence in your receiver to throw that football. With Josh Harper out, Isaiah Burst is stepping up big time.
Quick snap, they throw it to Peck. He nearly dropped the football, instead tackled at the 6-yard line. Jake Dowdy makes the stop, but the Bulldogs are knocking on the door with 2.5 to go in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, and a lot of the Aggies with hands on their hips. They got to find a way to bow their neck and hold up here in the red zone. Points are precious in a game like this. And if the Aggies are going to win, once again, their defense is going to have to make a play. Remember the turnover that Dowdy took to the house down here. They've got to be able to draw on that and find a way to somehow do that again.
They can get a first down without scoring a touchdown. They hand it to Waller. And he gets right to the sticks. It's going to be very close to a first down. First down, Fresno State.
Well, with this situation and the receivers and the mismatches that you've had, we've seen Derek Carr in this offense take shots on the back shoulders and the fades, but also the running game into the boundary on the perimeter.
Two receivers for Carr. Fakes it to Waller. Throws end zone looking for burst. Incomplete. Let's take a look at the Verizon red zone for the Bulldogs. And Derek Carr in the red zone tonight, 3 out of 7 for 2 touchdowns. 1 to Marcel Jensen, the tight end. 1 to Isaiah Burst, who's over 100 yards receiving on the night. Second down, Carr guns it, end zone, caught! Touchdown, Fresno State, Davante Adams. His 23rd of the season, that leads the country.
Andrew, prior to that play, they had really been avoiding Nevin Lawson, but Nevin Lawson playing aggressive and all over. This should have been pass interference.
Is a touchdown.
Derek Carr has his 3rd touchdown pass of the night. What a dynamic duo, Carr and Adams. Davante Adams is now 4 touchdowns shy of the FBS single season record. Keep in mind, Carr threw 2 interceptions in this quarter, got away with both of them, and now he gives the Bulldogs a 24-7 lead. Numbers just incredible for Adams and Carr. For Derek Carr, he now has 111 touchdowns in his career. And a touchdown pass in 32 consecutive games.
Yeah, and he literally has a 5-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio over his career. He just simply doesn't make bad decisions. We've shown him make a couple tonight, some miscommunication and a poorly thrown ball. But all in all, this young man understands this offense as well as Dave Schramm, bald-headed guy there in your screen. But a tremendous player, a tremendous leader, and somebody that you really gets a sense that the coaches and players around him are better because of it.
So they'll kick off from the 50. Short little pooch kick fielded by Fackrell at the 21-yard line. Good story in the Fresno Bee today. Obviously, Derek Carr is gone off to the NFL draft. This is his senior season, and there's also some talk that Davante Adams is going to leave early. He said he won't make a decision until the end of the year. But he's put up mind-boggling numbers this season for the Bulldogs. Garretson throws on first down to Van Leeuwen, and it's caught at the 30-yard line. Davante Adams, 23 touchdowns. Last week against San Jose State, he had 13 catches for 264 yards and 3 touchdowns. Marshall finds some room and a first down.
Tell you what, Andrew, you talk about Derek Carr leaving and Davante Adams. There's been some talk that Tim DeRuyter, their head coach, may have his eyes on some of the jobs that are opening up, which would be a shame because he's done a remarkable job with this program with a ton of young talent.
One of the jobs he was linked to was Washington, and what a hire they made, getting Chris Peterson to finally leave Boise State. So now Boise has an opening.
And I was shocked about that. I thought Chris Peterson would never leave that 40-mile green belt there in Boise, but I think at the end of the day, Andrew, it just came down to timing. And that $3.6 million a year probably didn't hurt either.
That's okay. Highest paid coach in the Pac-12. Garretson throwing, has it to Natson. He's crunched. A sandwich right there as Natson reels it in with 25 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. Listen in. Brandon Hughes, part of that sandwich for the Bulldogs defense, and that will be the final play of the 3rd quarter. Utah State had its chances in that quarter. They picked off Derek Carr twice and came away with 0 points.
This is the end of the 3rd quarter.
1 quarter to go in the inaugural Mountain West Championship game. The Bulldogs have a 24-7 lead. We'll return to the Mountain West Championship game in Fresno after this message and a word from your local station. Start of the 4th quarter in the inaugural Mountain West Championship game. Fresno State Trying to hold on to a 24-7 lead. Andrew Catalan, Aaron Taylor, Ali LaForce with you from Bulldog Stadium on a chilly night in Fresno, California. And Matt Wells' team facing a big 3rd down and 3 to start the 4th quarter. They're just 2 of 11 tonight on 3rd downs. Garretson to Butler. 1st down, Utah State. Butler still going to the 42. Into Fresno State territory. Darrell Smith with the tackle.
That's a huge play for this offense, and Keegan reads it perfectly. Comes off his first read, back to his second read. Just a great job of picking up 1st downs. What this offense needs to focus on is getting 1st downs, but again, here's some confusion. This offense is stopping itself as much as Fresno State is stopping.
18-yard gain on 3rd down. It's 1st and 10. Bruce Nat's in the motion man. Garretson pump fakes. Looking deep for Butler. Down the sideline. Butler's attempt falls on the ground, incomplete. Leaping attempt by Ronald Butler.
And that was against Charles Washington, number 28, who's a starting strong safety all season long. But because of issues in pass defense last week against San Jose State, they moved the sophomore over to the starting cornerback position, and he came up with a huge play there. I can't tell you how hard it is as a safety to play corner and how hard that is to play out of position. And Washington's done a very good job tonight.
Garrettson's pass incomplete. And going back to that Washington story, it was him. He was the one that called the coaching staff over the weekend and said, I know we had a rough time at corner last week. I'll do whatever you need. And whatever you need was learning to play cornerback in a week, as Garretson took a pop there from Tyler Davison.
Fresno State is dominating the line of scrimmage, whether it's pressure or getting penetration in the run game. The Bulldogs came to play on that side of the football tonight, and Utah State's been struggling as a result.
3rd down and 10, potentially 4-down territory here for the Aggies. They run it up the middle to DiMartino, and considering it's 4-down territory, that's a smart play.
Yeah, no question, because you don't have to get all of it. And Darrell Smith, the safety, came up with a heck of a tackle. But now you've got some decisions to make here on 4th down. How are you going to play this? That short, quick, controlled passing game's been working for him, but we haven't seen Garrettson's legs in a while. If nothing's there, will the young freshman take off and make something happen?
Here comes the crowd on 4th and 4. Garretson hit hard, pass is caught, 1st down, ball came out at the end, no whistle. That's a fumble. Fresno, now one official saying he was down.
It looked down to me.
There was no whistle, but the official pointed to the ground. Garretson took a big hit. Patrick Sua brought the heat, but a 1st down for Utah State.
Garretson had to double pump that. Yeah, the ground caused that fumble. He was down. Garretson wanted to throw it, kind of half-checked it, and then found a way to get it done.
Van Leeuwen, the 1st down reception. Garretson looking deep for Van Leeuwen again. Along the sideline, incomplete. That 4th down play, we told you Garretson got hit hard. Here's another look at it. It was Donovan Lewis who hit Garretson high.
Garrettson's been feeling it, but remember, we talked about the coaches telling us that this young man had some moxie. He was unflappable. Can he find a way to get something done and make this a 10-point ball game?
Garretson to Van Leeuwen, a little too high. And a late flag comes in. Van Leeuwen took a big hit.
That's the exact same play they ran the play before, where they couldn't come down with it. You see him there talking to Darrell Smith, who may have been a little aggressive on that last one.
The result of the play is an incomplete pass. After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, a hit on the defenseless receiver. Defense number 15. Half the distance to the goal, automatic 1st down.
Another look at that call that goes against Darrell Smith.
Man, I don't know about that. I think that's just a player trying to make a play right there. That's a tough call.
The penalty brings the Aggies into the red zone for the first time tonight. Garretson held on to it, hit hard, and goes down. Dalen Jones making his first start of his career. And that's the 7th sack, and Garretson is still down on the ground.
Officials timeout for an injury.
Craig Harrison is the backup quarterback, but the concern now is with Darrell Garretson.
He took a shot there. The right side of your screen, number 5, Dalen Jones. Absolutely crushed. Tyler Davidson once again doing a good job working over left guard Sini Tauvea. Man, this offensive line just getting worked at the line of scrimmage, and the quarterback's getting pummeled.
Aaron Jones came in there helmet first.
It looked to me like his right shoulder from that last angle that we just saw. Kane, it certainly was low as Garretson was falling to the ground, so their helmet certainly could have made contact. But I think that was a clean shot. It just was a hard one.
While we were away, thankfully, Darrell Garretson was able to get up, and he slowly walked off the field, needing help to get to the sideline. Took a big shot from Dalen Jones. And Garretson took a while to get off the field, and his teammates all surrounding him on the sideline, concerned about the true freshman quarterback. That'll bring out the backup, Craig Harrison. He's a junior from Grantsville, Utah. When Chucky Keaton went down early against BYU in early October, Harrison finished that game, played the first half of the next game against Boise State, and then they went to Garretson. Harrison hasn't come back because Garretson has been so successful. So now Harrison comes into the game, and on the first play, he's sacked. But penalty flags down on the play. That could be a face mask.
Unfortunately, a great play by Carl Mickelson is going to get nullified because of his aggression.
Personal foul, face mask, defense number 43. At the distance to the goal, automatic first down.
He just absolutely whips the back, Joey DiMartino, a poor block. But man, that left hand of his, trying to take all these quarterbacks out for Utah State. As a defender, you got to be able to settle down, throttle down, and come up with a good play. And he followed up a great one with a bad one there, costing his defense.
Aaron, 2 killer penalties on the Bulldogs this drive. The unnecessary roughness against Smith and the face mask against Mickelson. Now the Wildcat formation. Bruce Natson finds some space. Natson in the end zone. Touchdown. First time tonight they've run the Wildcat. They're 1 for 1. It took them into the 4th quarter, but it's the first offensive score of the night for the Aggies.
This time they just pull the backside guard, Jamie Markosian, on a G-block scheme out of the Wildcat and find a way to get into the end zone to make this a 10-point game. And crazy things happen, man. Sometimes when the offense gets shaken up, they can rally around their quarterback. They lost a good one earlier on. You see Darrell Garretson get knocked out. They continue to need their defense to make a play.
Diaz doinks in the extra point. So 11:55 to go. It is a 10-point game. Well, they don't really have a technical name for it. Some people like to call it the Wild Nat. Bruce Natson out of the Wildcat. His 3rd rushing touchdown of the season. And we're not done yet in Fresno. Darrell Garretson still being attended to on the Utah State bench. Let's go down to Allie LaForce.
Guys, the trainers walked Garretson very, very slowly over to the trainers table, and they've been dealing with him very delicately. They asked him a series of questions to which he responded to the best of his ability, but I don't think he really knows what's going on right now. They covered him up with blankets, they got him some hand warmers, and they told me he's done for the game.
Thank you, Allie. Still grimacing in pain on the Utah State sideline. And he will watch the rest of this one. It'll be Craig Harrison's job for the Aggies the rest of the way. There's Harrison on the bike trying to get loose. Little pooch kick. Ball's on the ground. Utah State says they have it. No signal yet. Still trying to sort it out.
They got it.
The ruling on the field is the kick that was muffed by the receiving team, recovered by the kickers. First down.
Aaron, opponents this season are now 4 for 4 recovering onside kicks against Fresno State.
This was just a great response, but poor execution by the Bulldog team. They had a chance to be able to come down with this. Greg Watson had his hands on it, but just simply couldn't come up with it. And the Aggies prevailed yet again, stealing another possession. But can this offense take advantage of it, Andrew? That's been their struggle all night long.
Going back to the end zone, nobody home, incomplete. Craig Harrison is 24 years old. He spent 2 years at Snow College before transferring to Utah State. His father, Rick, played quarterback in Southern Utah and Utah. Harrison, one of 12 Aggies who's married. 2nd and 10 on the ground. DiMartino across the 20. Momentum has swung in this game in favor of the Aggies.
And it's so critical that they capitalize on this situation and get a touchdown to make it a 3-point game. A field goal's good. It's a 2-score game at this point. But they have to be able to find a way to get some success down here in the red zone. We haven't seen them use any of their screen games so far today, but they've had some chances throwing the ball vertically. 3rd
down and 6. Harrison's pass is caught by Butler. 1st down, Utah State inside the 10-yard line. With Travis Reynolds out tonight, Utah State's top receiver, Ronald Butler, has made an impact. He's over 100 yards receiving.
Really impressed that time the way Harrison stood in that pocket, unflapped, kept his eyes downfield, and delivered a BB.
Now they line up in the Wildcat again. Harrison, the quarterback, at the bottom of your screen on 1st and goal. Natson keeps it to the 7, penalty flag. Far side of the field.
There is no foul on the play for an illegal formation. There were only 4 players in the backfield. It's 2nd down.
Seen that a couple times tonight, Andrew, with the inadvertent calls and the picked up flags. Derek Carr certainly watching intently, because this is Utah State's one of their better chances to get something done down here.
2nd and goal. Play fake. Harrison keeps it himself inside the 5 and brought down at the 4-yard line, where it will be 3rd down and goal.
Well, one of the things that Craig Harrison can do is he can make plays with his legs. I'd like a run-pass option on here, maybe a sprint or a boot. Give your quarterback an opportunity to make something happen and have a 2-way go.
3rd down and goal. Harrison cuts back again, and he stopped short. Down to the 3-yard line. Again, a 2-possession game. Do you put the field goal on the board now if you're Matt Wells?
I would, because you have some confidence. You finish a nice drive. after your defense made a play and you get points. It's a 2-score game anyway. Why take a chance and give some momentum back to Fresno State here? And that's what they're going to do.
Well, they had the offense stay out, but now Matt Wells changed his mind, and he brings the field goal unit out in Nick Diaz. When you got the top-ranked defense in the conference, you got to trust them, and that's what they're doing here. A 20-yard attempt. They just get it off, and the kick is good. With exactly 9 minutes to go in the game, it's a 7-point ball game. Utah State has scored 10 unanswered points. Diaz with the field goal, 24-17. Fresno State still hanging on to the lead. The hands team has come out for the kick return for Fresno State. Well, Utah State will kick it deep. Jonathan Norton at the 10, going the wrong way, and dragged out at the 11-yard line. Quezada with the first down run to the 35-yard line. Clock continues to move. Utah State has 2 timeouts remaining. But B.J. Larson, the Logan, Utah native, he went to Logan High School. That's where Utah State's campus is located, right in Logan. He was a Grizzly in high school. The junior with a costly penalty to keep this drive going. 2nd and 4. They flip it to Adams, running right side. Has the first down for Fresno State. Utah State was looking for a hold. You could hear it with our microphones down on the field, but instead, first down, Fresno State.
I think we could have heard that with our naked ears, but once again, Fresno State with that little flip pass, using the speed sweep to get some running room on the perimeter. What that does is it stretches the linebackers, setting them up perfectly for some other perimeter plays in bubble sweep.
Right back to Adams. Brian Sweet comes up to make the tackle.
Been impressed with the play calling of Dave Schramm, the offensive coordinator for Fresno State tonight. For the most part, done a good job of mixing up his play calling, keeping this Utah State defense off balance. What an explosive offense, and what a great job he's done tutoring number 4 quarterback here.
Derek Carr over 400 yards passing now in this game. Right side to Burst, and tries to get away from Quentin Bird.
Isaiah Bird.
And that'll be short of a first down with 6 minutes to play.
Those bubble screens, tackling in space is so important. I really like the technique of the patience of Quentin Bird on that one. Keeping his base, but here's a big 3rd down, Andrew.
8th game this season, Carr has gone over 400 yards. 3rd down and 2. Aggies need a stop. Quezada reverses direction, and they spot it right at the sticks. Connor Williams made the tackle, but that looks to be a first down. And it is. First down, Fresno State. And that means the clock will continue to roll.
Love the running style of Josh Quezada. He's a slasher, and that time he used his vision, put his foot in the ground. Utah State's defense over-pursued that last time, and he just simply ran it where they weren't and moved the chains.
2 timeouts remaining for the Aggies. At what point do they start to think about using them, Aaron?
Well, it's interesting here. The clock is bleeding. This is a defense that has to find a way to get a stop. There's still plenty of time. This is only a 1-touchdown game.
Burst across the 40. And 8 more yards for Fresno State.
Andrew, they got to worry about giving up 8-yard plays a lot more than they got to worry about time. Yeah, they've got a couple timeouts, and the clock is ticking. But you just simply, if you got to get yourself off the field, you can't give up 8 yards on first down. Be aggressive, take some chances.
Burst running the wrong way, and Burst is brought down for a loss. And Matt Wells uses his final timeout, and that takes him out of field goal range.
I'm telling you, now is not a time to panic.
Utah State, 30 seconds.
Let's take a look at this play. Watch how they extend it and get pushed up the field. Penetration, particularly on the edge. You have to set the edge as a defense. Great job by the safety right there. Great job by the defensive end. Look at the pursuits in the helmet. Isaiah Burst didn't have a chance on that. They've been gashed all night long on that play to the perimeter, but the Aggies held firm on that one.
Don't understand that play call when a field goal makes it a two-possession game.
Well, they've been gashing them all game. They didn't think that they were going to lose yards on it because it's worked up until then.
3rd down and 17. They run it to Quezada, who's got some room. Quezada, second level, short of a first down. Now, Utah State cannot stop the clock. No timeouts remaining. 2:20 and counting. This would be a 46-yard field goal, which is the career long of Colin McGuire.
Man, bleed some time off, kick the field goal, make it a 2-score game with your 3rd-string quarterback.
They're not. Looks like they're going for it on 4th down and 4.
They're going to bleed it and see if they can get him to jump to get the automatic first down. There's no way they're going for it here.
They're going for it. Quezada is hit and stopped short. And Utah State's going to get the ball back. Unbelievable.
1:42 remaining.
What just happened?
I don't understand why you wouldn't attempt a field goal.
If you kick the field goal, it's 27-17. It's a 10-point ball game. I do not understand that call. That is too risky. This is the conference's best defense that you're trying to convert on that's been hot this second half. I like aggressive play calling, but that was foolish.
So now the Utah State offense comes back out. 1:42 to go. Down a touchdown with no timeouts, and the backup quarterback Craig Harrison in the game. Harrison has some time. Throws over the middle, incomplete. Was looking for Travis Van Leeuwen.
Craig Harrison gets hit right as he throws this football. But his location isn't what it needs to be. But that left tackle struggling all game long. Kevin Wimpy, his brother Kyle got hurt in the year. They need this offensive line to give this young quarterback some time.
2nd down and 10. Harrison to Van Leeuwen, and he falls forward for a first down with 1:30 to go.
Great play call and execution. Pitch and catch is a simple pivot route. Seven's been hot in this game, making some plays. They've taken several shots with him deep, and it looks like he's got man coverage up here at the top of the screen.
6 catches for Van Leeuwen. First down and 10. Pressure coming, sacked. The 9th sack of the night for the Fresno State defense. Give that one to Kyrie Wilson. Utah State can't stop the clock. They got to hustle to the line. Harrison looking for Butler, comes back, makes the catch, but he was out of bounds.
Looked like he bobbled it right as it hit his hands.
It's an incomplete pass. 3rd down.
Slight push off there, great coverage.
Butler a little slow to get up.
I don't know, Andrew. They may want to look at that. It looked like he might have had his right toe right there as he had possession of the football. They may want to look at this.
The ruling on the field of an incomplete pass is under further review.
I'm telling you, with that last look, I think he caught that football. That right toe hits just inside. I think that's a catch.
Wow, very close. Now remember, it was ruled incomplete on the field, so they have to have enough video evidence to overturn it in the replay booth.
After further review, the receiver possessed the ball with his left foot inbounds at the 39-yard line. It'll be Utah State's ball, 1st and 10 from the 39, position number 1.
Great call by you, Aaron, and that's why you have replay. A 31-yard gain.
And if you're Fresno State right now, you have to really be second-guessing going for it there on 4th down.
Derek Carr trying to rally the fans here at Fresno. The red wave. 1st and 10 for Utah State at the Fresno State 40-yard line. Harrison over the middle, intercepted, picked off by the Bulldogs. Dalen Jones with the interception for Fresno State. There is a penalty flag on the play.
Laid pressure in his face. He's not able to step into that throw. If you throw high over the middle on that seam route, bad things happen.
Derek Carr will take a knee. The Bulldogs will win their 13th straight home game, improve to 11-1, and capture the inaugural Mountain West Championship game.
What an amazing job Tim DeRuyter has done with this team, Andrew. People left him for dead last week, wondered whether or not that they would respond, and they did.
The Gatorade bath for Tim DeRuyter, and what a way for Derek Carr to close out the final home game of his career. 404 yards passing and 3 touchdowns. Matt Wells and Tim DeRuyter, as we chronicled earlier, coached together at Navy for 3 years. They are very good friends. And the final score, 24-17 in favor of Fresno State. Storming the field here at Bulldog Stadium, the fans have rushed on, and somewhere in that mess is Allie LaForce.
You said you wanted to go out with a win at home on this home field, your senior season with the Mountain West title. How does it feel to go out on top, buddy?
Oh, we're so blessed. I just thank God. You know, it wasn't perfect, but that was, I can't ask for anything more. That was awesome.
Enjoy celebrating with your team. Thanks, Derek.
Thank you so much. God bless.
What a scene at Bulldog Stadium. Fresno State wins its first outright conference championship since 1991. That will do it from Bulldog Stadium. For Aaron Taylor, Allie LaForce, this is Andrew Catalan saying so long from the Mountain West Championship game, where once again the final score, Fresno State 24, Utah State 17. What a game! This has been a presentation of CBS Sports.